I just want to thank you all for coming. And my usual joke is when I get introduced as Don Starr, I say, I bet you were expecting a porn star. Surprise! The men are disappointed and confused. And the women are relieved. They're like, thank God she's not hot. I'm hot. It's fucking Florida and I'm a fat chick. I'm hot, people. But I just want to thank you for being here and supporting live comedy. It means so much. We really appreciate it. And we're going to have a great show. It's going to be awesome, I promise you. It's going to be amazing. And before we get started, does anyone have a birthday they're celebrating tonight? Anybody? Well, that's okay, because the only ones we're celebrating are sweet 16, 21 when you can drink, and 55 when you order half price on the Denny's menu. So this is the part where I tell you to please silence your cell phones. But I have this other idea. Put them on vibrate and sit them on your lap. And for a small fee, I'll call you later and put them on vibrate, and you'll get a big surprise. All right. I just want to share something with you. My mom has a bulldog named Waffles. Babysitting Waffles is always fun. Especially on nights she sneaks out in the middle of the night to go potties at 3 a.m. and I have to scream at the top of my lungs to get her to come back in the house. Picture the scene. Waffles! 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 Just imagine, my neighbors sound asleep, awoken abruptly by me screaming waffles. They're probably thinking, somebody call Sheriff Jenny Craig, that fat girl's disturbing the peace, screaming for waffles. Next thing you know, she's gonna want some bacon with that. This ain't IHOP. You're probably wondering who names a bulldog Waffles. The same person that names a 95-pound Rottweiler Snuggles. My mom, she smokes a lot of weed. My mom likes to bake, and by bake, I mean she likes to wake and bake. Yeah, whoa, she's the Betty Crocker of cannabis. My mom smokes so much weed. Imagine Snoop Dogg and Willie Nelson had a baby, and that baby smoked a lot of weed. That would be my mother. And she has dyslexia, so she mixes words all the time. You never know what's gonna come out of her mouth. I told her the other day I run into one of her friends and he was complaining. He called her and she didn't leave a message. She called him and didn't leave a message. She said, I didn't call him. I must have accidentally butt-fucked him. I said, Mom, I think you mean butt-dialed. That's what I said. No, it isn't. It's the same thing. No, it's not. I said, I think you would know if that had happened. So now whenever she calls my house and doesn't leave a message, my husband says, your mom butt-fucked us again. I tell him that is so disturbing to please stop saying that. And he says, no, she smoked all my weed. She butt-fucked us again. My mom has this really bad habit of always talking on the speakerphone while she's talking to you, no matter who's in the room listening. I think that is so rude, right? I'm always telling her that. And she's like, I'm too tired to hold the phone up to my ear. I said, no, Mom, you're just high. She argues, I have chronic fatigue syndrome. It's more like chronic weed fatigue syndrome. But I came up with a solution to get her to stop doing it. I was talking to her and I could hear someone in the background. So I said casually, is someone there with you? She said yes and told me her friend's name. So in a loud whisper, I said, I thought you hated that bitch. She doesn't put me on speakerphone anymore. We were sitting at a red light. 2 young girls were crossing the street with their babies. Thinking out loud, I said, I never had a burning desire to have kids. Without missing a beat, she said, me either. And you wonder why I'm up here in front of strangers looking for love, people. No, I'm kidding. Recently, some family and friends were at my mom's hanging out. She walks into the room and says, I'm so glad you all are here. There's something I want to talk to you about. I know you want me to stop smoking weed, and I tried. I went a whole day, and I was miserable. I hated it. So I figure I've got 10 more good years left. I'm going to do what I want. And you all just need to deal with it. I thought to myself, oh my God, she just had the world's first reverse intervention. I just hope in the next 10 years, Meals on Wheels expands to offer weed on wheels. I don't mind bringing her a quarter pounder for lunch, but I don't want to have to score a quarter ounce on the way. My mom has a friend who smokes a lot of weed too. Imagine that. The other day she said to me, and this is serious, she said, one time I accidentally brushed my teeth with Vagisil and had to call poison control. I was like, oh my God, what happened? She said, they said I'd be fine. My teeth were just a little greasy. So I said, how high do you have to be to mistake Vagisil for toothpaste? She goes, it's not so bad. Now my coochie's minty fresh. Hopefully she was using Crest. You know why? Can you guess why? Because it shrinks cavities. And you all can thank me when you're brushing your teeth tonight. Just remember me in your dreams. So my name is Dawn, which is ironic because I'm never up before noon. That's the problem when parents give their kids great names that have a high expectation. Ever meet a girl named Chastity? I'm just saying. And Hispanic families are the worst, like the ones who name their kid Jesus. What expectation are you having there? Jesus. If I had a kid, I would name him Good Enough. No pressure. No pressure. It took you a second, didn't it? Thank you for the laughter, though. If I had a daughter, I would name her Not Pregnant Before the End of High School. I think you can tell a lot about a person by what they name their pets. My dog's name is Lovey. My cat's Kit Kat, Oreo, and Snickers, so obviously I'm very sweet. Yes. My neighbor has 3 dogs, Jack, Daniels, and Whiskey. Yeah, needless to say, that bitch is an alcoholic. And don't get me started on my friend who named her cats Hoochie Mama and Sir Pimps-a-Lot. I'm not saying she's a whore, but you guys do the math. Yeah. Thank you for that little clapping back there. That was great. Thank you. I appreciate it. And speaking of whores, one of my best friends is a whore and a thespian. And by thespian, I mean thug lesbian. And yes, I coined that term myself. She can kick your ass and then shuck your clam. I love my thespian friend, but she's always telling me I should come over to the dark side. I never knew lesbians were such Star Wars fans. I try to be a good person, but I feel like I have a dark side, and there's a battle going on, and it always happens when I'm driving. I will see pedestrians on the sidewalk. She's laughing because she knows it's true. And God will say, wave them on. So I wave them on. Simultaneously, the devil screams, floor it. So I wave them on, and then I floor it. I don't know why, but it gets me flipped off a lot. Yesterday, I was in Walmart, and I saw this rather large woman wearing camo yoga pants. As a fellow fat girl, I felt it was my civic duty to inform her of her fashion faux pas. So I tapped her on the shoulder gently, and I whispered, they aren't working. Would you believe she flipped me off, too? It's not my fault her ass was so big, it's camouflage proof. And I know the saying goes, if the shoe fits, wear it. I don't think that applies to stretchy pants. I would like to ask a question. Is there anyone here who hates to see themselves naked like I do? Anyone? Well, 2 people. The rest of you are shameless exhibitionists. That's okay. But I will do anything not to see myself naked. Anything. I'll take a hot shower so the mirrors steam up. I get dressed in the dark. But I learned a very valuable lesson the other day. I heard that. I was in 7-Eleven, and this gentleman started a conversation with me. And as I was leaving, he asked if he could call me sometime. I told him I was married. He sighed and said, all the good ones are. Oh. I said, you just made a fat girl's day. He said, don't say that about yourself. You don't need to lose weight. You just have big bones. It was in that moment, that glorious moment, that I realized no matter what you look like or how you feel about yourself, there's someone out there that wants to see you naked. Yeah, that's right. It's good news for some of us. I just watched a documentary about plus-size girls dancing at strip clubs. I'm all for empowered fat chicks, but face it, there's a reason we are fat. We don't move around that much. So how exciting is that pole dance going to be, people? It looked like a grizzly bear scratching his ass on a tree. That's all. It looked like this. It looked like this. Here's my pole. Make it rain, Daddy. You know, that's okay, but you know, you never see big girls on shows like America's Got Talent doing Cirque du Soleil style dance. You know, when the guy throws the skinny chick up in the air then catches her. Ooh, boring. Let them try that shit with a plus size girl. That would be death-defying awesomeness. But they'd have to change their name from America's Got Talent to America's Got Balls. That's my time. Thank you, thank you, thank you.